We've asked every candidate on this stage.
Why should women of color choose you?
That's a great question. You know, as a man that was raised by a strong black woman who understood and taught me from my very earliest of ages the debt that I owe, women of color can trust me as someone for my entire career has been rooted in the communities that have empowered me to be who I am today.
I can't pretend to be in your shoes. I'm in one of your shoes as the first woman in many of the jobs I've had, and I know what it's like to be in that room when people aren't taking you seriously.
I am only here because of two very strong women of color. I have dedicated my time in public service to making sure that people just like my mother and my grandmother could do better in this country. It's why I focused in my time as mayor and as HUD secretary so much on trying to deliver for communities that are vulnerable, that are struggling.
So as a soldier, someone who understands in a very deep and personal way what it means to put service above self is what I will bring to the White House, to make sure that that mission, the mission of the President and the White House and our nation's capital, is solely focused on how we can best serve the American people.
It's...
We'll wait.
Yeah.
We'll wait.
Not something that I'm owed, not something that I expect, something that I fully hope to earn by the work that I do on the campaign trail, by showing up and listening to the people that I want to serve.
I am a leader on the issue of maternal mortality that invariably and disproportionately impacts women of color, on my history and long-term work in terms of education, including what I'm proposing right now, which is to close the teacher pay gap, which will disproportionately impact children of color and the women of color that are raising them, for my work on criminal justice reform, my work when it comes to economic security and health for women and women of color. There is a long history of work I have done, including my mentorship of young women of color in politics and in the professions. And I would stake my reputation in terms of what I will do going forward based on what I've done, and I believe you can judge me that way.
Look at my record and look at what I have campaigned on. Many of the ideas that I brought forth 4 years ago are now widely accepted by the American people and Democratic candidates from school board to President of the United States. So my campaign is about not just winning the nomination, not just defeating Trump. It is the understanding that we cannot transform this country unless millions of people, black and white and Latino, Asian American, Native American, stand up and take on the very powerful, greedy special interests who dominate the economic and political life of this country.
There's a fear in a lot of people of color and a lot of women of color that say after the experience of 2016, they don't have the confidence in the electorate of this country to elect a woman president. They want to vote one way, but their fear says that they may need to flee to the safety of a white male candidate. How do you address?
I think that's called side-eye.
We got a room full of people here who weren't given anything. We got a room full of people here who had to fight for what they believe in. We have a room full of people here who had to reach down deep, and no matter how hard it was, no matter how scary it looked, they found what they needed to find, and they brought it up, and they took care of the people they loved. They fought the fights they believe in. That's how they got into these seats today. It's how are we going to fight? Not just individually, but how are we going to fight together? Are we going to fight because we're afraid? Are we going to show up for people that we didn't actually believe in, but because we were too afraid to do anything else? That's not who we are. That's not how we're going to do this.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.